Hi, I'm Elias Stromberg. I'm the developer of FathersConnect.com, and I'm the father of a son with an adult son with disabilities.
Say it again. Do it again. Go ahead. 1, 2. Let me just
relax. Breathe.
Yeah, I'm trying to, but okay. All right.
You're on.
All right. Hi, I'm Elias Stromberg. I'm the developer of FathersConnect.com, and I'm also the father of an adult son with disabilities. I'm assuming that you are either a father of a child with disabilities, or the mother, or a friend or relative of a parent with somebody with disabilities, or a professional who works with such parents. But in the videos, I'm speaking to the fathers and the mothers. Okay. Right. Are you in order?
I can get that. No problem. I'm going to just stop. Go.
Okay. I want to tell you why I am building FathersConnect.com. Even though I had a PhD in educational administration and a Master of Science degree in special education and many years teaching special ed in a classroom and success as a principal of both public and private schools, I was totally unprepared for being the father of a child with disabilities. When my son was born with Down syndrome, I was shocked. All the training I had and all the experience I had prepared me in no way. I mean, there was no way I ever wanted this to happen to me. I became depressed. I didn't bond with my son, and for the first 3 months, my wife tells me that essentially I checked out. I had no mentor, I had no family living nearby, I didn't know anybody with a child with disabilities. There wasn't anybody who could help me. I felt alone. And I definitely wasn't happy being the father to my child. I've interviewed many, many fathers like ourselves for my book, Chosen Fathers, Life Lessons of Learned from Fathers of Children with Disabilities. And we all have the same story. We were shocked. We were in despair initially. And yet, I want to tell you something. It doesn't have to be that way. And that's why I'm developing FathersConnect.com, because I don't want it to be that way for you. I want FathersConnect.com to help you to quickly turn your shock and despair, which you have, and which all of us have had, which is normal. I want to turn that into, quickly, turn that to acceptance and joy. But in order to do that, you first must make a decision. And you have to decide that you want to feel joy. That must come first before we can go any further. Because the challenges that we face, they never stop. And without the decision for joy, all the little things that can trigger disappointment, they will trigger disappointment. So you have to decide. But if you decide, I promise you'll get there. So I want to tell you what's on FathersConnect.com. If you'll scroll down on the home page, you'll see 2 more videos. In the first of those videos, which is about children, I suggest to you how you can reframe how you look at your child so that you'll feel proud of his achievements, and you won't feel disappointed because your child isn't developing like typical kids. It's about reframing. In the second video, that video is about you. you're taking enormous care. You're giving so much of yourself to your child, to your wife, to the rest of your family. But who's taking care of you? That second video is asking that question. Also on the website, you're going to find 8 who cares for you. You'll also find on the website 8 icons. And each of these icons will link you to a solution to a specific problem that you may have as a father. There's also something on the website for mothers. I've written some ideas as to how mothers can better understand and encourage their spouse. I'll just tell you parenthetically, my wife has looked at all of these and she gives her approval to all of them. You'll also find articles and blog posts that talk about reframing and also offer encouragement. And then in the resources section, I've reviewed some books and articles written by other people and given you some links of websites that have helped me. So because they've been so important to me, I want to share them with you. And then you'll also find on the website a reference to the book, Chosen Fathers, Life Lessons Learned from Fathers of Children with Disabilities. I talk a little bit about the book and how it got written, and there in that drop-down menu you can download one of the interviews to get an idea as to what it has to offer. Let me just say to you that Fathers Connect is a work in progress.
Stop. 3.
Okay. Fathers Connect is a work in progress. Why? Because every father's on a journey, every father of a child with disabilities is on a journey that's a lifelong journey. And we learn and we change and we have to adjust. So the website's going to do the same thing. But I want you to share with me, because if you'll do that, if you'll connect with me and tell me about what your challenges are and how you're attempting to find solutions, then together we can share your successes and your challenges with other fathers. And together we can help all of us. So here's my promise to you. My promise is that if you connect with me, if you'll click on the Contact Me button and let me know that you'd like to talk with me, then I'll get back to you. And I promise you that I'll give you everything I have that I can do to assist you to focus on what your needs are, to help you have the confidence that you have it in yourself to meet all of those needs, and help you to find the joy in being the father that you're meant to be. Contact me, please. Let's talk.
That last part was... Go.
Fathers Connect is a work in progress. Your journey and mine aren't the same. But here's my promise to you. If you'll connect with me, I promise I'll give you everything I can to assist you, to focus on your needs, to help you build confidence in yourself in meeting those needs, and help you to find the joy that you should have in being the father you're meant to be. Contact me. Let's talk. Hi, I'm Elias Stromberg. I'm the developer of FathersConnect.com. I'm also the father of an adult son with disabilities. I'm assuming that you are either a father or a mother of a child with disabilities, or a relative or a friend of a parent with a child with disabilities, or a professional who works with such parents. I'm speaking to fathers. I developed FathersConnect.com because even though I had a PhD in educational administration and a Master of Science degree in special education, I had been a classroom teacher of special ed for many years and successfully been a principal of both public and private schools. I was totally unprepared for being the father of a child with disabilities. When my son was born with Down syndrome, I was shocked. Despite all the training and experience, there was no way I ever wanted this to happen to me. I was depressed. I didn't bond with my son. My wife says that in the first 3 months after my child was born, essentially I checked out. I had no mentor, no family nearby to help me. I didn't know anybody with a child with disabilities. I felt alone. And I definitely wasn't happy being the father to my child. I've interviewed many, many fathers for my book, Chosen Fathers, Life Lessons Learned from Fathers of Children with Disabilities, and it's the same story with all of us. But it doesn't have to be that way. So I'm making FathersConnect.com so that fathers quickly can turn the shock and the despair that we all feel to acceptance and joy. First, however, you must decide that you want to feel joy. If you'll make that decision, you'll get there. So I want to tell you what's on the website. Scroll down on the home page and you'll find two video clips. The first is about how to reframe. It's about how to look at your child's achievements and feel proud. The second clip is about you. You are giving so much care to your child, to your wife, to the rest of your family, but who's taking care of you? That's the question for the second clip. You'll also find on the website 8 icons, and the icons offer solutions to specific problems that many of us fathers face. There's also a section for mothers. And I'm sharing with you on the website resources that I have found valuable to me. There's also a section about the book Chosen Fathers, and I suggest you go to it and download one of the interviews there. So here's my promise to you. If you'll connect with me, then I promise that I will do everything I can to help. My promise to you is that if you contact me, I'll do everything I can to help.
Yeah.
Hi. You're a father of a child with disabilities. You're giving so much of yourself to your child, to your wife, to the other kids in your family, constantly giving to them. But here's the question. Who's taking care of you?
Start over.
Hi. You're taking care of your... Sorry. I'm going to talk to you as one father of a child with disabilities to another. I know that you're taking care of your child the best you can. You're giving to your wife. You're giving to your other children. But who's taking care of you?
Thanks. Next please.
Okay.
That was good too.
That was good. That was very good.
2, 1.
It's not easy seeing your child unable to do what all the other kids can do, whether it's reading or writing or telling time or whatever it is, or maybe having a child in a wheelchair that where your child can't run, maybe can't even walk, or perhaps your child's lost in his own world to such an extent that he can't communicate with other kids, doesn't have friends. It's not easy. I know it's not easy. I just lost what the next.
One.
It's not easy seeing your child unable to do what all the other kids can do, whether it's reading, writing, or telling time, or maybe not being able to run or even walk, or perhaps your child being so lost in his own world that he can't make a friend. It's not at all easy. But no matter what the prognosis of your child, no matter how limited your child's abilities, you're going to continue providing for him whatever his needs. But how will you feel joy in being his father? If you reframe your perception of your child as your partner in your personal growth, I can't promise that it will be any easier, but it can uplift your spirit and bring you closer to your child. Each of us has the right to take pleasure in our children. Sorry. We have the right to take pleasure in our children. But because everyone can grow and develop in some way. I'm sorry. It's not easy seeing your child unable to do what all the other kids can do, whether it's reading, writing, or riding a bicycle, or telling time, or it isn't easy seeing your child unable to do what all the other kids can do, whether it's reading, writing, or telling time, or maybe having a child in a wheelchair and not being able to run or even walk, or perhaps having your child so lost in his own world that he doesn't have a friend. It's not easy. It isn't easy at all. Maybe your child is so severely disabled that the prognosis for any kind of development is realistically very limited. How are you going to feel joy from that child? But regardless of your child's limitations, you'll continue providing him with whatever his needs are. If you could reframe how you looked at that child and saw him as your partner in your personal growth, I can't promise that it will be any easier for you, but it can uplift your spirit and bring you closer to your child. We have the right to take pleasure in all of our children.
Sure.
What?
I want to give you another example of your reframe.
Yeah, I forgot that line.
Sure.
Okay. I want to give you another example of a reframing. It's a personal one. Just this week, I saw my 8-month-old grandson crawl for the first time. And he's right on the charts. He's doing exactly what he should be doing for his age. And I immediately thought, soon he's going to be walking. I felt great seeing him do that. My son, my disabled son, never learned to crawl. He would scoot across the floor on his behind. And he didn't take his first step until he was 3 years old. But when he took that first step, I was ecstatic. It was then that I realized that he's not on the charts, that he has his own chart. And as soon as I looked at him as having his timetable for development, I was able to take pleasure in every little step of progress that he made. That's a reframe. If you'll contact me, I'll show you how to reframe how you look at your child so that you too can have pleasure in every little step that your child takes, and you can begin to have real pleasure in being his father. You're giving,
What are you doing? Don't do that. Okay.
you're giving amazing care to your child. You're taking care of your child. Let's start again.
His eyebrows are big.
You take care of your child. You provide everything that your child needs. You do the best you can.
That's not true.
No. You care for your child. You care for your wife. You care for the other children in your family. But who's taking care of you? How's your health? How are you managing stress? Are you satisfied with your relationships? Are you feeling joyful? If not, that's normal. Our children are not typical, and the demands and the stress and the challenges they present are not typical. But you need to know you are okay. You don't need any fixing, but maybe you need information. Maybe you need to be better organized. Or maybe you need to know how to find joy. If you contact me, I'll help you.